Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. For some reason, I have really been procrastinating with this video. I've been putting off making it for days, and now that I'm trying to film it, I've been procrastinating for hours, so long in fact that my tea is getting cold, which is a travesty. We can't have cold tea, unless it's iced tea, but that's something completely different. So what I wanted to talk about was some simple ways to decorate your envelopes. As some of you might know, February is International Correspondence Writing Month, or NaCoWriMo. Some people like to say NaCoWriMo, tomato, tomato. And if you're interested in participating, you might feel like you have to be an artist or a calligrapher or somebody really special just to get involved. You know, because people use their fancy fountain pens, their fancy dip pens, they use beautiful calligraphy, they use fancy inks, they do mail art on their envelopes. The envelopes are works of art. There's collages and paintings and drawings and all kinds of stuff. And you might just find it overwhelming. And you might think that you're not good enough to do that. But I'm here to tell you that you are good enough, and I am here to show you some simple ways to decorate your envelopes. Now, if you want to send a plain letter in a plain envelope, that is perfectly fine. The recipient of your letter will be very happy to receive that letter anyway. If you just write it on a piece of notebook paper and send it in a plain white envelope, that's perfectly okay. I just realized that there's nothing for you to look at here. It's just me talking, and there's a blank, my empty desk here. So I'll put my hands up here so you can at least know that I'm present. But yes, for me, NaCoWriMo should not be about who has the best handwriting or who makes the fanciest envelopes. It's about reaching out and communicating with other people. So I try to keep that the focus for myself, and I try not to stress too much about what I send to people. You know, honestly, I think this year I might just use a letter tablet, just a plain lined writing tablet. So I don't stress about what kind of paper, what color paper. Should I decorate the paper? Should I use stationery? Should it be a stationery set? Does the paper have to match the envelope? You know, I could just drive myself crazy to the point where I don't even participate. So I don't want that to happen this year. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy. I want to spread the love to as many people as possible. Therefore, I need to make this as quick and simple and easy for myself as I can. And I thought other people might also enjoy some quick and simple and easy ideas. So I have 3 things that I would like to show you today, and you can combine them, you can add them and change them and put your own twist on them, but this is just a jumping off point in case you don't know how to get started. So the first thing I would like to talk about is spraying your envelopes with color. Now these bottles I got at the Dollar Tree. That's an American store, in case you're not in America. And I got them in the toiletries section. They were part of each one was part of a 3-bottle set. A spray bottle, a squeeze bottle, and then like a regular plain bottle, I think. So I took these out and I just, put the other bottles aside because I only wanted the spray bottles. And I filled them with rubbing alcohol and some food coloring. And I've been using these for a while. I just keep adding more alcohol and adding more color, and the colors just kind of change as I go. For a while there, they were looking a little bit muddy. But this one is kind of decidedly bluish purple, and this one is kind of decidedly green. But again, they're always changing, and that's fun. I like the fact that they change. So recently I went by Michael's and I found these guys. Now I have heard about these bottles. These are like the mystical unicorns of spray bottles, because I live within driving distance of probably like 5 different Michaels, and I have scoured the countryside looking for these bottles. And this is what the packaging looks like if you're interested. They're 99 cents for 1 bottle, which isn't bad because these are $1 for 3, and I only use 1 of them, so they're still $1 a bottle. And the sprayers on these are not great. In fact, this blue one, when it sprays, it kind of shoots out the sides and it looks almost like a butterfly, but I never know where the color is going to land, so it's quite an adventure. So I'm hoping that these are going to spray better. This is the first time I've used them. It's the first time I've been able to find them. I'm so excited. Oh, and I think I just whacked the microphone. Excuse me. So this food coloring, it's McCormick, and I got it at the grocery store. You can find food coloring just about anywhere. And it actually has recipes on it, if we can get that to focus. So I sort of have a bluish purple and I sort of have a greenish color. So I thought it might be fun to try the Dusty Rose and the orange, and then maybe just a yellow to kind of, you know, break things up a little bit. So let's see how we do. So the way that I make alcohol spray is I fill up the bottle with alcohol and then I add some color. It's really easy. And my alcohol bottle has this handy squeeze top. So I just put it in there and I just fill that sucker up. Okay, so first let's try the Dusty Rose. And I've kind of been going with the egg dyeing side over here. So that's 14 red and 6 blue. Now, these are the little bottles. Aren't they adorable? They look like little garden gnomes. I just love them. But the problem is I've just about used all of the blue. I don't know if you can see that, but this guy's almost empty. And the tops are a little tricky to get off. They just pop off like that. And then you just squeeze them. So this says for Dusty Rose, we're going to do 6 blue and 14 red. So 1, 2, 3. Ooh, isn't that cool? Try to hold this up where you guys can see that. 4, 5, 6. I feel like Inky Rocks when she's doing her little ink explorations. Okay, so that was 6 blue and 14 red. Let me see if I can hold this where you guys can see it a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I've never tried these recipes before, so I don't know what this is going to turn out to be like. These other two guys over here, I just threw some color in there and, you know, I just went with it. So, I don't know. Do we have a little scrap piece of paper we can spray some color on? Let's see. Okay, here are some junk mail envelopes that I've been saving in the hopes of one day making a junk journal out of them. But they are perfect to experiment on with our sprays. So I don't want to get this everywhere. Ooh, yeah, that's kind of a Dusty Rose. Ooh, I don't know if I like that one. Well, we're going to let him dry to see what the color turns out to be. I do have to warn you, the alcohol fumes coming off of this stuff when you spray it are no joke. So use in a well-ventilated area. And please use adult supervision, because this is just straight alcohol. Now, when you make alcohol sprays, are you supposed to mix other things in them or dilute them? I have no idea. I'm just making this up as I go along. Okay, so this one we're going to try the Orange Sunset. So where's the Orange Sunset? That says 17 yellow and 3 red. So here is the red. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, very cool. I wish I could hold that up better so you guys could see it. It's pretty fun. This is why you need to do it yourself, so you can see all the cool colors sloshing around. So much fun. And you know how fountain pen inks get on your fingers and you can't get them off? This food dye is even worse. So you have been warned. Wear an apron, wear gloves, do whatever you have to do, because this stuff is no joke. Okay, and then what did we say? 17 yellow? Okay. Ooh. Does that look orange? It does look orange. I'm just wondering, when you spray these on, if they're not very saturated, the color fades pretty quickly when it dries. So I wonder if I should make this double strength. I'm going to make this double strength. So I'm going to put another 17 drops of yellow and 3 more drops of red. Ooh, our bottle is getting really full. I don't know if I'm going to have room to put 3 red drops in here. Let's see. I think I could squeeze it in. I don't know, because the sprayer is going to displace some liquid too. Woo. All right, what are we going to do here? I think I need to soak up a little alcohol with something. We've got to give ourselves a little space. Ah, the joys of creativity. You just never know what's going to happen. And please forgive me, I think I keep hitting the microphone. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a more intense orange. And then I said for this last one that I wanted to do just plain yellow. Because I feel like the bluish and the greenish that I've made are pretty dark. And this dusty rose is, you know, dusty. It's kind of dull. So we want some yellow to give it some pop. So I just did, well, I did 17 twice in the orange. So let's just do 34 drops of yellow in this one. Okay, so here is the yellow and here is the orange. I don't think there's much difference between them, so I'm going to get crazy and I'm going to put another couple of drops of red in here. You know, the recipes are just guidelines and you can kind of make it up as you go. Making it up as I go is my favorite way to operate. Okay, so we're going to try these. So here is the orange. Ooh. Ooh, alcohol. And let's see. We'll do the yellow over here. Yep, that is definitely yellow. Okay, so the yellow is looking pretty yellow. And the orange is looking a little wimpy. So I might add a little more red to him, but let's stop messing around with the spray and start decorating some envelopes. So, what envelopes am I using? Well, you know me, I'm the bargain girl. So I have these smaller envelopes. These are 3.63 inches by 6.5 inches. So smaller ones, this size. And these are Pen & Gear envelopes that I got at Walmart. And then these are business size envelopes that I got from Dollar General, which is a dollar store in the area. So, usually what I like to do is I like to get a big box, and I have this big Amazon box which won't fit in the camera frame, but I put a bunch of envelopes in the box and spray them, and then I let them dry and I flip them over and I spray them again. But for the purposes of our demonstration, I'm going to use this teeny little box so the ink doesn't get everywhere. Actually, this one won't fit in there, but that's okay. We'll just use the little one. Okay. So I will use my Dollar Tree sprays so you can see what I mean when I say that they spray kind of wonky. Oh, and I also have to mention, I looked at the bottom of the box to check for some holes, and this one does have some, pardon me, I keep hitting the microphone. This one does have some holes, so I just put tape over them, because the whole point of using a box to do your sprays is to keep the coloring off of everything. Okay, so here is the wonky Dollar Tree sprayer. See how it looks like a butterfly? Isn't that crazy? In my experience, when you're spraying, you should spray it on darker than you want because it's going to dry later. So I'm going to soak him pretty good. And I'm just going to do a whole bunch of different things with these sprays. And I'll probably just fast forward through this, and then we can look at the results at the end. And I do hope you give this spray a try because it's really fun. And I see how that's running down. Woo, it's so cool. It's going to dry really cool too. So, yeah, I will be right back with some cool envelopes. Okay, I lied. I'm not going to fast forward through the whole thing. There was something else I wanted to tell you. So, these I am just covering in color. And you might be concerned that your address area will be hard to read. So what you can do is cut out a little piece of paper, a little card or something. This is just one of my little ink swatching cards that I cut down. And just put it over where you'd like the address to go. And then you can spray like crazy and not worry about the address getting messed up. And I also made a little one for the return address. So I'm going to put him up in the corner. And now I'm going to spray. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you was you could do some little shapes. I punched out some shapes out of a grocery bag. I do have some craft punches, but if you don't have craft punches, that's okay. Just cut a shape out of a piece of paper. A grocery bag is good because it's heavier paper and it'll stand up to all the alcohol spray. But, you know, you can use any shapes you want. And you can cut them out of anything you want. Oops. Whoops. Okay, that didn't work quite as well because the force of the sprayer blew the paper off of the envelope. So I think we got one good impression. It might be better if you stick these down with a little piece of tape. But again, I'm going for quick and easy, and I do these envelopes in batches, so I probably won't try that again. I get that big box that I showed you, and I line up like 6 or 8 envelopes, and I just spray everything like crazy and let them dry. So if I have to stick down a bunch of little shapes and then spray, that won't work. But these little cards stayed on the envelope fine, so there's my answer right there. I need to cut the shapes out of heavier paper, and then it will work. So why don't we just do that right now? Let me go get my paper punch. Okay, so I have a bunch of these different punches that I've collected over the years. You know, I find them on clearance at different places. And these are actually designed for thick papers. So here's one of my swatch cards. So this should cut the watercolor paper fine. So we're just going to stick this dude in there. Let's see. Gus hates it when I punch stuff out with my punches because it's pretty loud. And now I'll try one with the heart. I might be able to get two with the heart because he's kind of little. Let's see. I find paper punching very therapeutic too. Sometimes I'll just sit with some paper and punch stuff out. It's really fun. Okay, so now we have a couple of shapes to work with. So let's try to spray an envelope again. I think I just whacked the camera. My goodness, I'm having some trouble. So actually, you know, I've just been talking this whole time without the microphone on, and you probably didn't hear anything of what I said, which is okay. But I hope you got the gist of that. But I punched out the shapes out of thicker paper. And now here comes an envelope. And where did my shapes go? So I'm going to do a star. And ooh, let's do a yellow star. That would be appropriate. And there's our little star. Now the alcohol is going to soak in a little bit, so it won't be a perfect star, but still that's pretty cool. And I was also thinking that the negative shape, the opposite shape, would be cool. So let's see how that looks. Let's do, I don't know, green. Well, that looks like my swatch card. So, I don't think that worked very well, but that's okay. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? So we'll just slap some blue on there and make it all better. And now it's a hot mess, but it will look lovely in someone's mailbox. Okay, what else did I want to show you? Oh, I don't think this is going to work very well, but I have this little love punch, which I thought was so pretty. So we're going to try the love punch just because, and we'll put a heart on there. I haven't tried the Dusty Rose. Well, my goodness. So let's see if I can get this thing to work without shooting love away. Well, the alcohol is soaking in, so it's kind of a hot mess, but that's okay. And I did this on the back side because I didn't want to interfere with the address on this side. But you know, if we get our other heart, you could do several of these. Several heart punches. Kind of where the address is. And spray. Gosh, this video is going to be like 2 hours long. Crafting is so much fun! Okay, there's a drippy heart. Well, that looks bizarre. Alright. Okay, I think that was all that I wanted to show you with the colors. So you can mix the colors. I think I did a mixed color one. Let's do a pink and yellow one, just for fun. And again, you want to saturate them really well and make the colors darker than what you're hoping for, because they're going to dry lighter. But that looks pretty awesome. Okay, so we're going to let those dry, and I'll show you what they look like at the end. So next up, I wanted to do some decoration with washi tape. Excuse me. Whew, the alcohol fumes are... they are no joke. I think I whacked the microphone again. I'm so sorry. I am so out of it tonight. I'm telling you, I have been avoiding this video all week. Okay, make a little space. Gotta make a little space for the washi tape. Okay, so here are our envelopes. So you can put washi tape on here however you want to. There are two main ways. I'm sorry, not two main ways. There's one main way that I like to put washi tape on an envelope. I usually use a thick washi and a thin washi. And these little dispensers I got at Walmart, I think they're so cute. They come with the washi tape and the dispenser together. And they have a couple of different ones there. So I like to do a thin one. So let's see. Let's do, oh, I don't know. Decisions. It's so hard. So we'll do this one. And I like to do a strip that goes all the way around the envelope. And I'll tell you why. Because these are not the best envelopes in the world. They're not the strongest envelopes in the world. So when I tape stuff on here, of course I'm going to do this after my letter is already inside. So this decoration will be my last step. This decoration is my first step. I spray these and let them dry. But this washi tape I'm putting on right before it goes in the mail. Washi tape, as we all know, is not very sticky. And if it's not very sticky, when this letter is running through the machines at the post office, it might catch one of the edges of the washi tape and either pull it off, rip your letter open, get stuck in the machines, you know, turn the machine off, who knows. So I like to overlap the washi and then either glue a shape on it or put a sticker over it or just glue it down to kind of secure it. And then I like to do a thicker strip. So my return address is going to go here and the mailing address is going to go here. And I think I might have done this backwards. I think I like to put the thick one this way. Doesn't matter. It's art. It's fun. I was just thinking about my space. Because you have to remember when you're addressing things, especially if they're going to a foreign country, you have to leave enough room to get the whole address in. When you're sending mail in your own country, the address doesn't need to be quite as long. But if you're sending it overseas, it's going to be a bit longer. So then this way, I'm going to do it across. So it's almost like a little present. I'm wrapping a package to my pen pal. And it serves two purposes, at least two purposes. Where are my scissors? Okay, so I've got all of my tape overlapped right here. And then I would probably put a sticker or something over that to hold it down. So number one, it looks pretty. I like it. And you can use whatever colors or patterns you like. You don't even have to use washi tape. You can just use strips of paper. So I have these little paper pads that I get at the Dollar Tree. Oh, well, I haven't even opened this one. My goodness. And then you can just cut strips out with a pair of scissors. And you can, you know, cut patterns, make it wavy. I also have some pinking shears. And you can cut shapes with the scissors like that. pinking shears are not the easiest things to use, let me tell you. Okay, so there's that piece of paper. And then I've got this piece of paper. Alright, so here is my envelope. And I can glue it around like this. And just glue it down. It doesn't have to be tape. It doesn't have to be sticky. And then glue one this way. He's a little bit short, but you know, you could just glue it down and then put a sticker right there. Or glue it down on this edge and put a sticker right there. You know, so just be creative and use whatever you have to decorate, you know, to make these little strips. And did I tell you the second reason why I do this? First reason is to look pretty. The second reason is to kind of hold the envelope together. So if the envelope gets torn in transit, on all four sides, there's something holding on to the letter. So hopefully the letter won't fall out. Because I have gotten letters where the seams of the envelopes have torn. Now, I'm not saying that happens all the time, and mail is pretty secure. Even these cheap envelopes are fairly sturdy, but I always like that extra layer of security just to make sure. So whether you're, you know, gluing strips on or taping them on, or, you know, using tape, I feel like it makes it a little more secure. And then another idea that you can do with washi tape is to do some strips. So, ooh, this is some of my new MT washi that I got from, oh gosh, was this Washi Wednesday? Oh, I think I got this from Washi Wednesday. Okay, so you can just put it right on the edge. And again, if you don't want to wrap it all the way around, you don't have to, but I would glue down the edges. So I would lift it up right here. Just peel it up a little bit, or even before you put the tape on, just put a little dab of glue right there, and then put your tape on, and that way you'll know it's secure, and it won't come off in the mail, it won't get stuck in the machines. That's my biggest fear, that my letter's going to get stuck in the machine, and the postal workers are going to get mad at me, and then just not even send my letter, because I was the dummy who stopped the machine. So, I don't know. These are the things that I worry about. It's terrible. Okay. So here is my piece of yellow. And, let's see. I thought it would be fun to cut this to give it a different shape. But, washi's not that easy to cut. You know, the smart thing to do is to stick this on a piece of wax paper and cut the wax paper. But I don't have any wax paper. Okay, we're going to try this, and we're going to see how it goes. That's not working very well. Okay, so if you would like to cut your washi tape out with pinking shears or some kind of fancy scissors, then I recommend taping it down to a piece of wax paper, cutting it out, and then peeling it off the wax paper. Okay, so I'm just making a hot mess over here. That's okay. And then on our edge here, we can have like a little washi cluster. So I got a little bit of an edge there. Something like that. So again, I would glue the edges to make sure they're secure. But I think that looks really pretty. So layer up some washi. That is a quick and simple decoration. And this you can do ahead of time because you're just putting it on the one side. It's not going to affect you putting the envelope, putting your letter in the envelope. Okay. So washi, washi, washi. I've got my little list right here. Okay, so the last thing, the last idea is doodles. Okay, don't panic. You can doodle. And we are going to have some assistance with our doodles. And our assistants are going to be stickers. So these are going to be sticker doodles, which sounds like snickerdoodles, and I would love to have a snickerdoodle right now, but I don't have any, but I do have some stickers. So, I have some hearts, I have some butterflies, and I have some flowers. So I'm going to show you different ideas you can use these with. You can use whatever kind of stickers you have, just get creative with how you use them. So, my first idea is going to be with the butterfly. And again, you want to be conscious of where your address is going to go here and where your return address is going to go up there. And I have heard, you know how sometimes people put the return address along the back of the flap? I have heard that sometimes the machines don't read this address. They accidentally read this address and your letter can get returned to you. So according to the post office website, the best place to put your return address is up here. And this area on both sides of the envelope should only have the recipient's mailing address. That's today's fun fact. Okay, so I'm going to put a butterfly right there, and I'm going to put a butterfly over here. Let's see, where should he go? Where is that one? We're going to put him up here. And then I'm going to get my trusty Sharpie, and we are going to make some little butterfly lines. Oh, if I can get this guy to work. Okay. I think I picked up one of the mushed Sharpies. I've mentioned before that I mangle my felt tip markers. So this is a Pigma Micron in the 08. I love using this in my bullet journal to make my borders and stuff. So he is gonna just go wherever you want him to go. And he can just go right off the page. And then the same for this little guy. He is going to come back this way. And I'm going to try to get him to go in the right place. So he is going to come up here. And I think it's really cute when they do a little loop-de-loop. So I'm going to do a loop-de-loop right over the envelope flap. And then he's going to go right off the page. Okay, that seems a little confusing. So maybe just do one butterfly. I got a little carried away. But it's cute. And it's just a dashed line. Anybody can draw a dashed line. So just put your butterflies on there. And if you want to get really crazy, you can do a bee. So how do you do a bee? I've got a yellow marker here, and the marker's not necessary. You can do it without the marker. But I make a little circle of yellow, and I give him some little bumblebee stripes, and maybe a little stinger. And then I give him some wings, and a couple of little antennae, and there's my bee. Actually, the stinger is going to get lost in his little dashed line, because he's going to come this way. And I don't know if he should end up on the back side because it's getting a little busy on the back side here. So anyway, so you can have a bee or a butterfly or both on your envelope. And they are quick and easy and simple, and anybody can do this. Okay, the next idea is with a flower. So if you're not comfortable drawing a flower is a really basic doodle, but if you're not comfortable with that, you just stick a flower wherever you want it to go, and then you just make some little leaves. And there you go, you got a flower. And you could just make a whole garden on the back of this envelope. Again, me personally, I'm going for quick and easy. I don't want anything that's too complicated or that's too hard. He's kind of hanging off the envelope, but that's okay. So again, we're just going to give him a little stem and some leaves. And there you go. You got a little flower garden on your envelope. That's pretty easy. And it doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It's just a fun, quick decoration that will make your letter receiver smile. Okay, so my last idea actually kind of has two parts. So I have these hearts. I had two ideas with the hearts. So one, I thought it would be fun to do like a bunch of balloons, like heart balloons. Okay, so then with the balloon, you're just going to draw a line, and they're all going to meet at the bottom. And we're going to have his string come right there. So there's our little bouquet of balloons, and I'm going to tie a little bow. And then I thought it would be fun to write on it. So then you could write like, hello. Or you could write the person's name or any little message that you want. And I also thought you could just draw the hearts. Let's see how that would look. So, and I'm putting this on the back of the envelope because the front is where the address goes and I don't want it to get too confusing. So we're just going to draw some hearts. Everybody can draw a heart. And you can draw as many or as few as you want. And then you just bring the strings down. We got a lot of strings here. Whoop, okay. And then my little bow. That is a wonky looking bow. But that is okay. Bows can look wonky. And I don't know what I want to write in this one. F-R-I-E-N-D. F-R-I-E-N-D. That's kind of weird. Okay, I'm going to write, hi there. And you can color the hearts in or do whatever you want to with them. Okay, so that was our segue from the sticker doodles to just some doodles. Don't panic, you can do a doodle. Now, instead of drawing these on an envelope, I'm just going to draw a bunch on a piece of paper. So I just have some scrap paper here, and I'm looking at my notes to look at my doodles. So yeah, we talked about the heart balloons, or you could also just do some regular balloons, and usually a balloon has the little thing at the bottom. So just some circles with the little thing, and there's some balloons, and you can color them in. And let me see. Ooh. I looked up how to do a typewriter. Now let me see if I can show you guys how to do a typewriter. And let me zoom in a little bit. Can we see this? Woo, now I'm nervous. Okay, so for a typewriter, I think I'm too close. You're gonna do, I'm not up on my shapes. Is this a trapezoid? I think that's a trapezoid. So a four-sided shape with a long side and a short side on top, and then two angled sides. And then you're going to bring the bottom down. And then you're going to add your paper at the top. And the roller. and then the return handle. And this is where the keys are. And then we draw a line under the keys. And then we put our keys on. That didn't make sense. That's where the little type bars are that come up and hit the paper. And then the keys are down here. And you can put as many or as few of these things as you want on here. Again, we're talking quick and simple. We don't want this to be complicated, because we have a whole mess of letters to send out in February. So there's our typewriter. And then again, you can write a little message on the piece of paper. So I could just write my recipient's name on there. Or you could write hi, or, you know, greetings, whatever you want to write. Okay, that was the typewriter. And then I thought a mailbox would be fun. So for a mailbox, you draw an arch, and then you extend the arch back, and you round the back of it, and you've got the flap coming down with the little handle, and you've got the pole that it sits on, and here is where the flag goes. And then inside, you've got some letters. That one's pretty easy. Okay, here is the piece de resistance. Pardon my paper, I'm just using some scraps here. And I think everything is showing through, but that's okay. I love this little stamp. And I bought this in a set of stamps several years ago, and it was pretty darn expensive. So, do you need to buy expensive stamps to do this? Of course not. So, I looked up a little doodle that looks kind of like this that we're going to do. Don't fear, you can do it. I've drawn this thing a dozen times. It looks different every time. And it looks kind of funny, but funny's good because we're trying to bring joy to people, right? Okay, so here's our inspiration. Can we see him? Here's our inspiration. So, I'm trying to think the best way to start, because I'm a beginner here too. Okay, so I think the easiest thing to do is to start with his mouth. And then we're going to have the letter come across, so it looks like it's in his mouth. And then there is the letter. And here are the flaps. Okay, so far so good. Now here is his head. And his happy little face. He's got some antenna. You can make the antenna look however you want. And then his body is going to come down, and you can curve it either way you want. And Gus is having a fit. Please excuse me, I might have to go tend to some doggy business, but we're almost done with our doodle. And then we're going to start with his shell at the edge of the letter, and we're going to curl the shell around, as many curls as you want. And then we're going to draw his body under the shell down to his tail. And look! You made a little snail holding a letter. Isn't that awesome? And it's not too hard. You can do it. I promise. Okay, so those are my ideas. So I'm going to try to bring our envelopes back in here so we can take a look at them. Oh, yes, we have to look at the dried spray ones. Okay, oh, got to zoom out a little bit. Okay, had to take care of some doggy business. So, here is one of our envelopes. This one, of course, had the star shape, and I suppose you could squeeze somebody's address in there, but remember, we want to make the addresses legible for the mail carriers. We don't want to make their jobs any harder. let's see what else we have. Here's the one that we sprayed with the hearts on it. And again, if we use a firmer material, where did our, whew, my desk is a mess. Here we go. See, I cut these out of watercolor paper. I cut these shapes out of watercolor paper, and they stayed on better than the brown paper bag. The grocery bag shapes were too floppy. I'm sorry, I need to zoom out some more so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so if you want to do shapes, use something heavy, which will stay on the paper while you're spraying. And there was a pink and yellow one. And I just did one side on these, but when I do these for my, when I'm mailing letters, I totally spray both sides. So spray away. Have a great time. Now this is the one where I had the card on it, but it looks so stark with that white, so I sprayed a little bit of yellow on there too. And then here's one where I mixed it. This was purple and yellow, which I thought was cool. And this is that green spray, the one from, the Dollar Tree sprayer. And here's the yellow and blue one. Here are the two hearts that I had side by side. Now that would probably be better for writing an address. And that's the Dusty Rose color that we mixed. And this is the blue spray from the Dollar Tree. And before I started the video, I sprayed some bigger ones. And these were just with the Dollar Tree sprays, the blue and the green. And you see, I didn't spray them quite enough, so the color is really faint. So if you like fainter colors, you can certainly do that. And I just lined a bunch of these up in that box that I showed you and sprayed all of them at the same time. So, you can get a little assembly line going and spray, 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 sticker, 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 doodle, 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 and you can get a bunch of envelopes decorated in no time. So don't feel like you don't have enough talent to do this. Don't feel like you don't have enough time to do this. Don't feel like you don't have supplies to do this. You do. This is super easy and super quick and fun. And just think about all the happiness that you're sending through the mail. So I hope you consider joining in InkoRemo. I will leave a link to the main page down below. And hey, if you want me to send you a letter, then shoot me an email. My Gmail is in the description. So I would be happy to send you one of my lovely envelopes. And hopefully you have fun with International Correspondence Writing Month. And I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.